is T-Night, as Jim mentioned. WLUP Disco Demolition Night.
All we do is we plant the tree, and then we're all gonna move. Yeah! And everybody's gonna know us rock and rollers here in Chicago think disco sucks. Disco sucks. Disco sucks.
Wait a minute, cut this shit. Man, what you gonna do now?
I'd like to return to the classics.
As we go a little something like this. Hit it!
Gotta have house, gotta have house, gotta have house music.
Jack your body, jack your body. In the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove. And from this groove came the grooves of all grooves. And while one day viciously throwing down on his box, Jack boldly declared, let there be house. And house music was born. I am, you see, I am the creator, and this is my house. And in my house there is only house music. But I am not so selfish, because once you enter my house, it then becomes our house and our house music. And you see, no one man owns house, because house music is a universal language spoken, understood by all. You see, house is
Disco, what's up, my bro? Hey, man, I got some gentlemen that's doing a documentary on house music, man. And, you know, I called him in, so you hear me? There's no doubt about it. Who else I'm gonna call? This guy's a historian and he's an active house DJ. Been doing this shit for 30, 40 years, you hear me? So when I tell you that's gonna be your one-stop shop right there, that's gonna point you in every direction that you need. Because he does this shit right now today. That's his world, his life. He a veteran too. He ain't no shorty. You're gonna get history with that man. If that's what you're looking for.
Disco Steve Harris.
When you call this line, it's gonna come on. Disco Steve Harris in the mix, baby.
Oh, DJ Harris. All right, so I brought some for you to try. We'll do a little taste test right here. These are Japanese like grape flavored gummies, and it's like they're like called muscat flavored grapes, and they're super popular. But if you'd like to give one a try, yeah, go for it.
Okay, yeah. Hey man, back in the day.
These all the people that was showing up, kicking it with a brother. And these are just your neighborhood fun people, you know what I'm saying? Everybody having a great time. My walls used to be white, you know what I'm saying? So, half the time a girl is keeping you from going home because she's giving you a plate. She's dancing with you all night, you know what I'm saying? Damn, we get her ass whooped like that. But you know what I'm saying? But this ass whooping gonna be worth it, you know what I'm saying? This girl giving me the groove, Back in the day, my granny had a cowbell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So like, in the Kung Fu movie, that's the alarm, you know what I'm saying? And she was, a ninja master, because she'll hear it. Because you had to learn the bell, because it was even a slight little pull. Ding! Where the hell your ass been? You know what I'm saying? MFU, woo, 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 woo. Oh, Grandma, I'm sorry. Get your ass in your room. You ain't going out tomorrow or next week. Oh, snap. And that's when the next great party coming up, So it's time to kiss some granny feet, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, oh man, so this baby takes care of everything, you know what I'm saying? So,
oh, this is nice.
Yeah, so this the patio where everybody come, get their hair on, get their smoke on, you know what I'm saying? And I venture to all these clubs, Bismarck, the candy store, Music Box, Warehouse, Original Warehouse, and Power Plant, each one that was different. That's what we call a jacket back in the day. everybody be geeked, man. I'm gonna go jack the house tonight, boy. I'm geeked up, you know. Got your new clothes on, got your fade, you know what I'm saying? Got a little nice little chain that we spot from the flea market.
Time to jack. Time to jack. Time to jack. Time to jack. Time to jack.
I used to always think that what I did was create kind of a poor man's paradise on a dance floor. It gives them an opportunity to completely escape the rigors of reality and just be one with themselves and hundreds of other people at the same time that could be total strangers.
It's not about us DJs. We're just conduits showing people a good time. You know what I mean? Some of us are really fantastic at what we do, and some of us are good. Nobody's bad at it. You know what I mean? No one is really, really bad at it.
One of the parties I used to always look forward to a lot was Easter, because you would always play something spiritual on Easter. But yeah, it was very much a spiritual experience. Because the music, at that particular time, that room was so tight, and once you had people in it, that sound system really sang. And it just wrapped itself around people.
When was the first time you heard somebody refer to house music?
Maybe 80, 81. I was in the car with a friend of mine going to his house out on the south side, and we were at a stoplight, and there was a tavern on the corner that had a sign in the window that said, "We play house music."
See what happened, he was driving around 73rd Cottage Grove over there, right?
Right.
And that was the spot I was DJing at. It was called the Bitter End. And this was when I was a teenage, like high school.
Okay.
And with the sign in the window said, "We play house music." And Frankie saw that. And the rest pretty much is history. That's where Frankie Knuckles and myself met, at that particular club. Oh man, Frankie was the best. And you know, Frankie and I, we never talked about music. Frankie always talked about life. Things you need to do in life to set yourself up for success.
I wouldn't say Disco Demolition made house music, but it certainly gave it the pathway now, the opening to really kind of come out of the underground. And basically, our ethos was house music is democratic, it's inclusive, it's for everybody. You don't have to be in the shadows anymore. You can be openly out and gay, and we're all accepting of you. We're all a bunch of misfits. So we're not judging anybody. There's no judgment. There's no homophobia. There's no racism. There's no, none of that stuff. We just won't tolerate it because we're kids from the civil rights era. We don't believe in discrimination. Yeah, like 1984, and why we're celebrating like 40 years of house this year, because that was sort of like a watershed year where somebody figured out, namely Vince Lawrence and Jesse Saunders, figured out like, oh, we can take this music that we were making and recording in our home studios off of cassettes, we take it and press it up. And so then you get the commodification of house music. All of these people came out with records that year, and those records created house music beyond Chicago. It shared it with the world.
And so would you say that house music is kind of this unifying force, especially in a segregated city like Chicago?
Yeah, and that reason still exists. I mean, look at how the world is, and we're still, you would think we'd made more progress, and I guess in some ways we have, but in some ways we haven't. We're still talking about some of the same things. We've got to get to the point where we are absolutely living as one, and so house music, I think that's why it is still relevant, because we haven't gotten there.
Chicago is the only city where you have people that are doggone in clusters and neighborhoods and nobody crosses any boundaries. Yeah, I mean, if you three guys go on the south side of Chicago and go into a store to go buy something, they'll think y'all the police. They'll be like, wait. Okay, they're Asian, he's black. Don't nobody hang out like that. They gotta be detectives.
Also rush hour type stuff.
I'm serious. And it's funny, but I'm serious.
Yeah. Do you think like house music helped break down some of those barriers that like Chicago has, or not really?
No, there's nothing can be done for Chicago. Chicago is what it is, and that's all it's ever going to be. It's been that way too long.
But nobody mentioned these people who actually don't. Please let me finish.
So hold on, we finna cut this right now. Oh, wait. Okay. What this is, we are doing this out of love. This is not a history lesson. This is not a debate. We're not about to do this shit while I got the mic. So stop it now. If it's not a positive conversation, we made it.
Wait a minute.
Going out passing out flyers, hanging up posters.
Go ahead, Frankie.
The comment to me is always made, why do people in Chicago argue about who did what? Can't you motherfuckers be happy? Can't you motherfuckers be happy that it was
that part? We're not here to debate who did what, when, where, why. It's to celebrate house music because of this Grammy nomination that I have back to back. Is something fucking amazing for this city. It's gonna come back and we're gonna still look like bickering motherfuckers in the room about Chicago house. No, let's get past that, y'all. I got 2 Grammy nominations with house music. What the fuck more we gotta do?
We talked to Leonard and he was like, after commercialization, there was something that was lost in house music where like the
soul.
The
soul, right?
Yeah,
this is like an argument that you hear a lot.
Well, that's EDM. EDM is doing its best impression of house, but it lacks inclusion, so it's not soulful. So sorry, you gotta bring the inclusion to have that feeling. It's like being in a boardroom of all the same people. You're not gonna get ideas, and you're not gonna get flavors from other folks. And that's what EDM. It's like a big boys club, and it just lacks diversity. I'm sorry to say it, and so that's why house is like, don't call it house. People from house are like, well, that's not house, right? But it is derivative, and it's somebody doing their best impression of house. Like, okay, we're gonna make house then, like, because they liked house, and a lot of them started out making house. A lot of the Cascade started out making house. Joey Youngman started out making house. Like, all of these people, Daft Punk, all of these people started out being influenced by house. And so, you know, the Alessos and the Tiestos and the Paulo Confolds, they were influenced by house music. So they're doing their best version of it, but they're not pulling enough people in to bring the soul. Maybe they don't want the soul. And guess what? That's what they got. But they've got a huge commodified, monetized, highly monetized, but also trendy sound. EDM is fading because after you grow up, you're like, what's next? What more is there? Your life can't be a build up and then a drop, a build up and a drop, a build up and a drop, right? Yeah. So like you start looking for something deeper, and it brings you on back to house. Wow.
I've definitely just seen like a smaller and smaller number of events that feel like true to Chicago house music, and I've definitely seen, at least of the like new venues that are opening, they're all on the north side, and they're all a lot more commercial. They're not very accessible to a lot of the people who are really like close to the Chicago house community. Like this part of the south side specifically had like one spot, and it just closed at the beginning of January. And a lot of people there were really upset because they were like, wait a second, like, you know, we don't have anywhere else like close by us, like, and you know, like you can try and recreate this on the north side, but like this community is here.
Basically are copycat, and they're making millions doing something, but I really feel that that's something that our essence of our community, our blackness, is being taken away from us and co-opted, and I would love to see you all stand up and do more.
We just need to make sure that we tie our communities together, because, you know, it's power in numbers, you know?
You guys allowed me to grow and learn how to love people, no matter what they look like, no matter who they love, no matter where they came from. So I wanted to first of all thank you all for that.
I have a story. My story is different from yours. Yours is different from mine.
Absolutely.
But we all have come together for the same thing, the same reason, the same vibe, the same community.
I may be somewhat of a foundation, but these are the building blocks.
Like I said, Robert Williams,
so I can appreciate it.
Top promoter, you know what I'm saying, for what we doing now. He's still young, but old. You know
He's a funny guy.
Yeah, dude, for sure. You know, you want to go to his parties, you know what I'm saying.
There used to be mixes every day. Lunchtime in high school, you go home, you listen to a mix. The house music permeated Chicago back in the early mid-80s. It permeated Chicago. It was Chicago.
Yeah, I'm Martin. I'm 36 years old. I came from France, but I live in Chicago for 10 years. Back there in Europe, because it's really big over there. It's, I guess, it started in the US, then it got bigger and bigger in Europe. And when I was like, 15, 16, started going out, you know, with a friend. And we started going to a house music party, techno, Chicago house, Detroit techno.
What got you listening to house music in the first place?
House music. Back when I was 14 years old, I'm currently 55, I snuck into the music box with my friends, and Miss Gypsy told me, I know your ass ain't supposed to be in here, so you're not leaving until the morning. I stayed in that place till 7 o'clock. I would never forget hearing Ron Hardy play the L Train Station track, and I was only 14, so I didn't know, so I'm in a place like, woo, I'm ducking. Right. Thinking that, you know, it's a train coming through here. Music saved my life. 19 years ago, I was in a coma. I get emotional off of this because music saved my life. A DJ saved my life. He bought me a CD player, and I had 2 CDs. One was pink and one was purple. And I played those CDs, and I think had I not heard that music, I would have died.
You would have been in that coma?
I would have stayed. I wouldn't have fought to come out. Wow, and I'm here today because of house music. I do nothing. I love house music, and house music it's in here. It's universal. It has no language. It has no color. It has no gender. It has nothing but power. Right. It's power. And I don't even spell music. M-U-S-I-C. It's M-U-Z-I-K. Music.
Can you show us your favorite dance move real quick?
My favorite dance move. Thank you for my love dance for that.
Thank you.
Oh, we gotta let Mr. Byron sing. Y'all a legend.
My favorite dance move is with the old school like two-step, you know, and just something as simple as like that. Of course, when you think of house music, you think of voguing and, you know, the hand movements. And then, of course, you got to go with jacking when they used to jack back in the old days, you know, and just jump up and pump their hands. And before then, everyone used to dance with couples. In house music, people began to just dance on their own. Even if you didn't have a partner, you would go and dance with the speaker or the chair or whatever. So it's about this, it's the music that brings freedom of expression.
To conceal it, their hearts burn, cause they both know they can feel it. That's the way love is. That's the way love is. That's the way love is.
Ocean's this street, Larrabee's this street. So it could be like to our right somewhere.
Cabrini Green Public Housing Complex. In many ways, a high-rise ghetto plagued with crime, joblessness, fear, and despair.
It's ridiculous being searched going in and coming out.
How many times have you been searched today?
About 4 times. Just trying to walk with my mother while she getting her identification and just try to get in the building to get something to eat for lunch.
I have a feeling that we can reform this housing if we give these people health care, perfect schools, all of the city services that they're supposed to receive. Decent housing, good elevators, you know, the whole bit. And I'm saying that if folks had a decent opportunity for once, that they would be able to prosper. And that's gonna happen.
I am the outgrowth not of just father and mother. I am the results of 400 and some odd years of struggle. Serfdom, man's inhumanity to man. A struggling group of people who are trying to not just abide, have made up their mind that they're not just going to survive, but will prevail in a coalition of faces with all other people so it follows us night and day. That when people cry for help, whether Chinese coolie, or South African bamboo, or serfs in Russia, or South African held in bondage, or gay and lesbians pushed around, that I'll be there and defending them and supporting them. That's just no big deal.
Yeah, this looks hella gentrified.
And Chicago is fucking number one when it comes to this house music. I gotta say it. And let me tell you something. When I went to fucking LA to the Grammys, I was the only motherfucker in the room representing Chicago and house music. And we ain't never gonna stop. They trying to write us out. It's not happening. It's not happening. So I just want to show the world that you cannot fuck with us. Period. I love y'all for real. Thank you. Gene Hunt, make some noise.
House music, I'm gonna tell you what it does. It brings about all different type of cultures, all different type of races. When it started, coming out of the disco era, it was mostly like towards that say like gays, right? But it wasn't about just that. In the way it just encompassed a lot, it just bring a lot of people. If you notice, like when house music, you got different type of people and they all feel it. Oh. Like they doing a documentary on house music,
house
right?
music in Chicago or just in general?
No, just in Chicago right now.
Ask me the questions and I'll give you answers.
There you go.
You ready? Yeah, give me that.
What got you DJing in the first place?
What started me DJing?
Yeah.
My grandfather was a jazz musician that played with Ahmad Jamal on my mother's side of the family. And my grandfather was officially a DJ, and he would take me to the bars and I would sit up and watch him play on turntables back when they had the 33 RPM, the 45 RPM, the 78 RPM. And my grandfather would pick me up and I would just sit and watch him play at the lounge with my grandma. I got pictures legit right now that has pictures of my grandmother and my grandfather and they hooked up. So music has always been a very powerful inspiration to me in reference to how I feel it. And I would listen to records like growing up as a child. I would never leave the house without a fucking 45 or a record or something that I would turn my tricycle over. Like I was spinning some music for.
Where was your spot in like 84?
Ron Hardy was my man. Ron Hardy's my big brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Ron Hardy was like Michael Jordan and Kobe. Like that was my man. I know D, I know Rroy, I know all them, but I'm the epitome of this shit. You feel me? Like real talk. Y'all on the north side.
Leonard was
I
saying
did. I did. See, the difference between me and everybody else is that I do freak easy. I fuck with the burners. I fuck with the hipsters. I fuck with the Mexicans. I fuck with the black motherfuckers out south. I fuck with everybody. I'm the most ambidextrous motherfucker ever. I'm like Tupac with this motherfucking box. Period. Like, when it all break down, I fuck north, south, east, west, left, right, up, down, sun, moon. I'm that motherfucker, bro. Period, BT. Take a picture of me and BT so that way they can see the story that come behind it. It's me and BT. I started my life in this thing. It was called The Note. In 2006. It's 2020 fucking 4.
The Terry Hunters, Andre Hatchett's, Little Lewis, and everything. Because remember, I'm a fan. So that's why I'm still old school, and I don't knock the new stuff that's that's out here. So these are kind of they're built into the mixers too. And they all got like. If you ever hear somebody.
Steve, can I try throwing a loop in?
Okay, I got you. Let me put some drives here real quick.
Okay.
I'll get you the headphones in a minute. Press it, and now you're on. There you go. DJ Tommy on the wheels of steel, you know what I'm saying?
Main reason why I find myself here at the Ministry of Sound tonight is the very same reason that you're all here and people come here every week. And believe it or not, it's the very reason that this club exists. Actually, more than that, it's undoubtedly the reason that clubs exist all over the world. It's a phenomenon that every weekend brings millions of people together all over the world. And of course I'm talking about house music. And Frankie Knuckles may have played his last record, but his legacy will never ever leave the dance floor. Forget those guys from Sweden. These guys were the original fucking house mafia.
In the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove. And from this groove came the grooves of all grooves. And while one day viciously throwing down on his box, Jack boldly declared, "Let there be house." And house music was born. I am
you see, I am the creator. And this is my house. And in my house there is only house music. But I am not so selfish, because once you enter my house, it then becomes our house and our house music. But you see, no one man owns house. House is a universal language spoken and understood by all. You see, house is a feeling that you don't understand unless you deep into the vibe of house. House is the uncontrollable desire to jack your body. And as I told you before, this is our house and our house music. In every house, you understand, there is a keeper. And in this house, the keeper is Jack. Now, some of you might be wondering, who is Jack and what is it that Jack does? Jack is the one that gives you the power to do the snake. Jack is the one who teaches you how to walk your body. Jack is the one that gives you the key to the wiggly worm. Jack is the one that learns you how to walk your body. You may be black, you may be white, you may be Jew or Gentile. It don't make a difference in our